Welcome to this explainer. Today we are on a very specific mission. If you've been scrolling online at all lately, you've definitely seen some of those incredibly high-quality AI-generated commercials and short films. Take that viral Shri Cements video, for example. I mean, it looks like it cost millions of dollars and took an entire massive animation studio to pull off, right? Well, what if I told you that you could achieve that exact same cinematic quality right from your desk? Today, we are breaking down the workflow used to create those stunning AI films into a highly manageable, incredibly practical 5-step blueprint. But before we really get going, we kind of have to address the elephant in the room here. 63%. That is a massive hurdle. According to the source data, 63% of creators find AI video generation tools to be just way too expensive. And honestly, it makes perfect sense. When you're paying for credits every single time you generate a clip, the whole trial and error process can drain your wallet ridiculously fast. It's the #1 hesitation keeping truly talented people from jumping into this medium. So that brings us to the core question we're tackling today. How do you actually make cinematic AI films on a tight budget? The secret isn't having unlimited cash to spend every time your AI character accidentally grows a third arm. It's entirely about your workflow. With the right strategy, you can completely minimize wasted credits while maximizing the quality of your output. You don't need a Hollywood budget to become a director in the AI space. You literally just need a system. Okay, let's dive into this chronological 5-step blueprint that'll guide us today. We're looking at story foundation, character design, consistency with Laura, cinematic start frames, and finally, video creation and polish. Step 1, story foundation and simplicity. When you have these infinite, godlike tools at your fingertips, the temptation is to go massive right away. But that's a classic beginner's trap, trying to generate some complex 5-minute epic right out of the gate. What actually happens? Well, you burn through all your credits, you get incredibly frustrated with inconsistencies, and you end up abandoning the whole project. Instead, the highly recommended approach is to aim for a 15 to 20-second film. Keep it to just about 10 shots, featuring a single character across a maximum of 2 locations. Keeping things this tight allows you to focus purely on which prompts yield the absolute best results. It allows for quick, cheap trial and error. And as you see progress in these short bursts, you save credits and you actually finish projects that build your portfolio. Moving on to step 2, character design and references. Before you even think about shooting a single frame of video, you have to visualize and build your actor. You need to know exactly who is living inside your story. The workflow for this is brilliantly straightforward. First up, gather your visual references. Hop onto sites like FilmGrab or Pinterest and grab images that perfectly match the mood and the look you're imagining. Second, define your character's traits. Gender, age, ethnicity, wardrobe, the whole shebang. Take those traits, plug them into ChatGPT, and ask it to write a highly detailed prompt for a studio portrait. Third, head over to an image generator. Our source specifically utilizes Imagine Art, selecting the Nano Banana Pro model. You paste your ChatGPT prompt and, here's the key, keep your generation count strictly low, maybe just 2 images to save those precious credits while you generate your character's base portrait. Which brings us to step 3, mastering consistency with Laura. Now, what's really interesting about this is how it solves the single biggest technical headache in AI video creation today, keeping your character looking exactly the same across different shots, different lighting, and totally different camera angles. To solve this, we use Laura, which stands for Low Rank Adaptation. Basically, you take that first studio portrait you just made and feed it right back into ChatGPT to get prompts for different angles. You want a 3/4 profile, the sides, the back, and a full body shot. You generate those, and then you upload this entire collection into the character option in a platform like Film Studio. By doing this, you're effectively training the AI. You're teaching it exactly what your character's facial features and clothes look like, locking in that crucial consistency for the rest of your project. Before we jump to the next phase, our source drops a fantastic, absolutely crucial piece of advice. Think like a director. Don't just type random prompts and cross your fingers. You need to meticulously plan your shot list. What's the action? Where exactly is the camera positioned? Is it moving? Planning this out on paper beforehand ensures that every single prompt you write actually serves the final edit of your film, saving you an unbelievable amount of time and credits.
All right, step 4, generating cinematic start frames.
Notice we aren't making video just yet. First, we need to generate the exact, perfect starting still image for every single shot in our film. This is where real-world filmmaking knowledge becomes your literal superpower. When prompting for your start frames, tag your newly trained character, but then dictate the exact real-world camera gear you want the AI to emulate. Want a crazy, in-your-face, distorted close-up? Prompt for an Arri Alexa with a fisheye lens. Want that beautiful professional portrait look where the subject is tack sharp and the background is a creamy blur? Prompt for a spherical lens 85mm at an f/2 aperture. By using these traditional camera terms, the AI generates vastly superior skin texture, hair details, and depth of field. It genuinely looks like it was shot on a real set. And there's a massive credit-saving tip you can utilize here, the storyboard feature. Look, if you don't want to spend hours bouncing back and forth between ChatGPT and your image generator for every single frame, just write a super detailed prompt for your first image and turn this feature on. The AI will automatically generate the logical, sequential shots that would follow it. It essentially builds out the grid of your scene for you, saving you incredibly valuable time and really limiting that manual trial and error. Let's move to step 5 and see how this all builds. Video creation and polish. This is where the magic actually happens. Those carefully crafted still start frames are finally transformed into motion. Inside your video creation tab, you upload your start frames. But remember, what makes a video truly cinematic is the editing. The multi-shot feature is a real game changer here. You can tag your character in shot 1 to establish the base action. Then you can actually type in a hard cut command, followed directly by instructions for shot 2, like a sudden close-up on the character's eyes. The AI will generate both shots while maintaining perfect action continuity across the cut. It stops the character's identity from morphing or glitching out when the camera angle suddenly changes. You also have total control over the energy of the scene through camera movement options, because you absolutely do not want static, lifeless video. You can select a handheld parameter to add that natural, slightly erratic, shaky documentary feel. You can choose linear to maintain a normal, consistent panning speed, or you can use speed ramping to introduce some highly dramatic, cinematic slow motion right in the middle of an action sequence. As you put these dynamic shots together, we return to this earnest, grounding piece of advice from the source material. Keep your ego aside, keep it simple. By focusing your energy on executing a flawless 10-shot, 15-second story, you actually complete the project. And these small, highly successful films, they are exactly what build an impressive portfolio. They are what actually unlock freelance opportunities and real jobs in this new industry, far more than a sloppy, glitchy 3-minute epic ever will. So the crucial point for your final polish, once your shots are generated and edited together, is this. You must add a film grain overlay in post-production. You can find free film grain overlays super easily online. Just drop it over your final edit. Why? Because AI video naturally has a very artificial, ultra-smooth, kind of plasticky look to it. Film grain adds organic texture. It tricks the eye. It is the absolute secret sauce for making your generated footage feel incredibly real and undeniably cinematic. And that is the complete budget-conscious workflow, from story foundation through character design and lore training, all the way to start frames and final video polish. So I leave you with this question to chew on. What 15-second story will you bring to life with this 5-step blueprint? The tools are out there, the workflow is proven, and you no longer need a massive budget to be a director. It's time to start creating. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.